Here with me this morning is Daniela Levine of Catalyst Miami, and I appreciate you joining me, and we'll hear from Daniela in a few moments. We're standing here today in support of America's middle class, for Americans who work hard in order to support their families and save money for their children's future. Our prosperity has always come from an economy built on a strong and growing middle class. President Obama knows this, and he believes middle-class families should have the certainty and security of knowing their taxes won't go up at the end of this year. Unless Congress extends the middle-class tax cuts by the end of this year, federal income taxes will increase for 114 million Americans by an average of $2,200. In Florida, we're talking about increased taxes on 7.6 million families. We can agree that we should prevent income taxes from increasing for middle-class families. I would think we could agree on that. Yet so far, Congress has been unable to come to an agreement on extending middle-class tax cuts for 98% of Americans because Republicans in Congress refuse to ask the wealthiest 2% of Americans to pay their fair share. Under the Republican tax plan, 5 million families would no longer be eligible for the child tax credit. The Republican proposal also calls for cuts to the earned income tax credit, which would mean nearly 6 million working families with children would see their taxes increase around $500. That's unfair, and it's unacceptable. Passing this bill makes it much more difficult for working families to care for their kids, not just for college and for things as simply as back-to-school shopping at stores like the one behind me, but for everyday expenses that middle-class families need to be able to make sure that they have an opportunity to live the American dream. School starts this Monday here in South Florida. As a mom myself of 3 young kids, I know all too well what it's like to get the expensive, never-ending list of items. In fact, right from here, I'm going to my children's back-to-school orientation, and I expect to come home with a long list of expensive items. Besides pens, pencils, and notebook paper, now we've got computer storage drives and backpacks, not to mention shoes and clothes. Extending the middle-class tax cuts would mean fairness for the middle class, job creation for our economy, and certainty for families, businesses, and our budget.